because we had, of these cars, now I mentioned that there were 84, 16 of them were painted the most phenomenal paint jobs. I mean, just beautiful. They were psychedelic. They went to some very famous people, and the colors happened to match with schemes for songs that they had written.
Give us an example of.
Well, the one, now I did not meet him, but Prince bought one, and it was the Purple Rain
theme.
The car had metal flake and all those different colors that were in the song. Quite a spectacular car. But there were others that were, one had an Arizona sunrise on one side and Arizona sunset on the other. And when I say this, these were not cheesy paintings. These were beautiful. There was one of them that had I drove it for 4th of July. It had fireworks on it. There were 3 of them that had Japanese kimono designs, and they were just amazing works of art. Now, an aside about having something like that that's unique, just because it's beautiful, people would criticize it because it was a Rolls Royce with a painting on it. So all of a sudden, the value that you would think would be there with these gorgeous machines that were beautiful, the value was diminished, actually. It wasn't increased. I had no idea.
And who painted those cars?
A fellow named Peter Hakes, his name, but Peter had been a painter on the circuit for I believe a number of years, and they did a lot of those cars with flames on them and the dragsters. So that was his background. And actually, the way that came about, the painting of the cars, the Bhagwan had these 2-door Camargues, and he had all the others that were just spurs, every color combination that they made. And one day, one of the Camargues, the 2-door, got a scratch on it. So Peter asked permission to paint it, and so he painted it metal flake. And the Bhagwan thought that was fantastic. He said, "Can you do some more?" Well, he painted the other Camargues, and then he said, do you mind if I paint some other things that I want to paint on some other cars? And he started painting these cars. And actually when I brought the cars here, I brought Peter and his girlfriend to live with me in my house, because we have to keep the cars painted. We had them in this huge warehouse, and if they got a scratch or anything, we had to be able to repair it. So I had to have a painter with me. So it's another unusual experience.
But then, so it happened that you figured out that it diminished the value of the cars.
But I've already painted, so you couldn't repaint them. Right.
I understand that.
And so in the meantime, now I'm trying to get these cars sold, and everything has fallen through.
So the market is down.
The market's down.
You are hit with a 12% or something around that interest rate, and your partner died.
And in the meantime, they have more Rolls Royces than Rolls Royce had, by far. So, but this floods the market, and that also has a tremendous effect. There's just too many. There aren't that many people out there to buy the cars, and then they start competing, and there's too many of them, and the price goes down. So this created a long-term issue where I had to have them out in the auctions in California. I had to drive that bulletproof, bomb-proof car myself when it was 103 degrees and 180 degrees in the car. The windows don't go down. Hardly
air conditioning.
The air conditioning didn't work. But also when you're in the Barrett auction, you notice the cars aren't driven there; they're pushed.
Right.
They're not running.
Right.
So the air conditioner's not on, and the windows are. And since you can't put the windows down, it's just hot. It was miserable. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But this took several years to get the cars sold. There's also a little bit of pride on my part too, that I thought the cars were spectacular. They're amazing machines. They are fun to drive, by the way. And there used to be an ad where people would have, when they were marketing Rolls Royces on television, they would have a box of mustard. It was Grey Poupon mustard. And I went out and bought a box of little chicken bottles of mustard. And I would roll down the window of one of the cars when I was driving. And so I was staring at it. I said, "Would you like some grape, Paul?" I got a big kick out of that. I thought that was that was my big joke. But the part of it with the marketing, the business part of it, I mean, that's not fun. That's just business. That's just work. But it was an amazing experience. It's one that I wouldn't pass up for anything. I wouldn't do it the same way again. But it was something that was unique enough for me that I'm sure I'll never have anything quite like it.
Why? So you told me that there were over 80 Rolls Royces overall.
All in total.
And you purchased only 34 and
No,
35.
all of them.
Oh, you purchased all eight.
Peter told me that there were 35.
Peter,
No,
Peter,
was wrong. Peter, the Rolls Royce salesman,
Mhm.
and he just knew about where they were. He'd read about them himself. He had nothing to do with the sale, but he just thought it was exciting, and he thought I would be interested.
So he basically gave you the lead.
He gave me the lead,
Mhm.
and he's remained a friend for all those years. He didn't want to make anything out of it. That wasn't the idea.
At the end of the day, did you make any money on it?
Not really. It took so long because of the interest rates.
And the oil market.
And the oil market, well, yeah, the oil market, but the interest rates were so darn high. When you can't sell them quickly enough, all the profits winds up going to pay the interest. So it wound up being a fascinating experience.